Another video for Breaking Bad. This one's going to be doing our Season 2 review / recap. We're going to be talking about all 13 episodes of Breaking Bad Season 2. Okay, guys, so I know it's been a while. Since my Season 1 Breaking Bad review, and I know a lot of people have, been asking me over the last couple months, did you give up on Breaking Bad? When's your review for Season 2 coming out? This and that. It's finally time, guys. It's finally time to review Breaking Bad Season 2. I've seen the entire season all the way through, and I'm pretty happy with it. I don't know if I'm blown away with it, but I'm pretty happy with the second season of Breaking Bad. So, of course, the first season was only 7 episodes, so you really only kind of got started with the series. The second season of Breaking Bad for me, I think, was probably, like, if I had to rate, and I'm gonna use the meter for this this review, I would probably give this this season of Breaking Bad a low good. So with that rating, I think that this is a very good season. However, I do have my problems with it, and specifically, I think with the beginning of the season. The last, like, 4 or 5 episodes, in my opinion, are freaking amazing. Like, I was addicted in those last couple episodes of the season. I was like, man, this season is ending very, very good. And it did. Like, the back half of the season, really picked up. However, I do have to say that I think the first half of this season, like the first like 5 or 6 episodes of this season were really slow for me. They were really slow. The plot wasn't moving that much. There were a few little developments here and there, but really, for me, when the season really only got good about halfway through. So that's why I'm not putting it as a meh, but I am putting it as a low good, because I don't think that this season has the strongest first half ever. However, let's get into and let's discuss this season and kind of what we have from it. So, of course, after the delivery, in the last episode of Season 1 with Tuco, obviously, they're kind of, working for him and this and that, but, obviously when, we see in the episode, his 2 men get killed or whatever, he captures Jesse, of course, which is very exciting for sure. Walter White kind of steps out of the house. You have his wife Skyler. She's like in the bath or whatever, and you hear like somebody outside the house or whatever, and Tuco has Jesse or whatever, and tells Walter White to get in the car. So really cool. So I was pretty interested there. Then of course we do have the second episode where I was shocked. I was honestly shocked. We actually see the death of Tuco right away. And this is actually one of my problems with it, is that I wanted to see Tuco's character fleshed out a bit more. And looking back at his character, I thought he was going to be a bigger deal than he was. And that's the one thing I'll say about it. However, I do like his character for the time he was on the show. I think he was a good character, and I liked what they did, with his character for, like I said, the amount of time that he was in the show. But yeah, for me, I just think Tuco's death came too soon, if I'm being honest. And of course, it was Hank that kills him. So I like that. I thought that was cool. Walter and Jesse almost get caught too, which I thought was also very interesting. But of course, throughout the entire season, Walt has been hiding, the secret from her. And she doesn't even really find out even at the end of the season. So throughout this entire season, he's still kind of lying to her about pretty much everything, But you do have the episode in this season, too, where Jesse, goes to see his parents, which was, for me, that was an alright episode. You do have the episode as well this season where Hank has a bit of a heart attack there in the elevator. So, some stuff like that kind of going through. And then we also have the really dark episode this season, episode 6. For me, this is around the time this season kind of started to pick up, where you have Jesse and he's in this house or whatever, and you have this kid or whatever, and, he's not, cared for at all, and stuff like that. The kid, probably hasn't had a shower or anything. His clothes not that great, and just the kid is not really growing up in the best environment, and Jesse kind of notices that. So he kind of takes care of the kid for a little bit. But of course, the crazy girlfriend or whatever is there, and she crushes some dude's head with an ATM. Like, I'm like, what the hell? Like, honestly, I didn't expect that coming at all. Jesse's just like sitting there, and then takes the money, So Love that. I thought that was really, really cool, but brutal. I didn't expect to see that at all. So yeah, and then he kind of tells the kid, he's like, "Good luck. You have a good rest of your life. All right, I got stuff to do." But of course, you also have the episode with the turtle. You got the guy's head, and it's there or whatever, and then you got the DEA or whatever. You got Hank and the rest of them or whatever, and he's kind of part of this other group or whatever, and this and that. And they basically, I love the part where you see it's kind of a trap. The turtle, you get the head or whatever, and you're kind of wondering why, what's going on and stuff like that. And then, you have Hank or whatever, and he, goes to the back of the car or whatever, and boom, they all blow up or whatever, and they're all killed. So Hank is kind of traumatized from that, of course, and Walt kind of tries to, bring him back a little bit. He talks to him or whatever. He goes to his house and he kind of talks to him about things and stuff like that. So I thought that stuff was really, really exciting. And then Better Call Saul, episode 8. So, and there is a spin-off for Breaking Bad called Better Call Saul, but there's an episode this season called Better Call Saul as well. I freaking love Saul, man. He was awesome. So they make a deal with him. They capture him and stuff like this. And of course you do got the one guy as well, which this episode was one of the most exciting of the season for me. You've got the one guy. So they set up a deal. They make it seem like Heisenberg is this other guy. And you have the one guy on the bench, of course, that they break out thanks to Saul. That doesn't go to jail and this and that because of Saul. He sits on the bench, and this other guy's gonna come and, make a fake deal or whatever, and this and that. And you have another guy that sits, that looks just like the guy, and he's, reading a newspaper and this and that, and you're just waiting for something to happen. It's like, it's the wrong guy. So, I really like that, and, then of course the other guy that Saul hired goes in and he's kind of he's wondering, he's like, why is nobody talking to me? And then of course Jesse has to kind of go, but of course Hank is watching them with the DEA, so Jesse kind of has to sneakily I'm going to use that as a word, go in there, and he tries to basically kind of fix it, and he does. And then, of course, Walt comes in, and Hank's watching, and then Walt distracts Hank while Jesse goes in there and does what he does. And I like how Walt's driving by, and Hank's just like, Walt, what are you doing here? Like, I'm working right now. And Walt kind of takes his time, clumsy, very clumsy, at least he acts very clumsy. And he's like, oh, sorry, Walt's like, I'm sorry, I'll let you get back to work. I'm sorry, okay, I'm driving, love it, friggin' love that stuff, man. So, and then it goes down, and then you have the guy that gets arrested and this and that. So they think they got Heisenberg, and obviously they didn't. Heisenberg was talking to friggin' Hank, But of course, we have, the episode as well, 4 Days Out, where, Walt makes it seem like he's going to go see his mom. He gets dropped off at the airport, and then boom, they go in the RV, him and Jesse, of course, and they get stuck out there. And they I love that episode because it's very it feels very survival-ish, and they're Jesse, of course, fire, wastes all their water and this and that. And, basically, they're trapped out there until eventually the RV actually starts back up again, and she picks them up at the airport and this and that, and everything's good. But they made tons of meth, of course. So I love that episode as well. I thought that was awesome. And then we have episode 10 and episode 11, and kind of some of these episodes around here with Jesse and his girlfriend. So of course I love the episode, of course, where Jesse's out. Of course, he took a lot. He took the needle or whatever and this and that, and he's out. Him and his girlfriend, and Walt has to literally break in the house. Which I loved. He has to literally break in the house, and he runs in or whatever. He's like, Jesse, where is it? And he's just under the sink, and barely even speaking. And he goes in there, and the money just falls down. He's taking the money with him or whatever. He's putting it in the bag, and then the baby's coming, and it's like, oh god, this isn't good. So Walt makes a decision: baby or deal, and he makes the deal. So obviously with this one guy, Gus, I think is this guy's name. In this restaurant place or whatever. So yeah, I do like that. Of course, Saul tells Walt about this Gus guy and this and that and the deal, but he misses the birth of his child, which I thought was really crazy. But I was really pumped up around this time. Makes the deal, of course, and then he doesn't make it to the hospital until after the baby's born. But Of course, Walt has to have surgery, so of course we do get to see that as well. But beforehand, I want to mention the death of Jesse's girlfriend. So throughout the entire season, he becomes a tenant, right, for the other side of the house, and they kind of get together and stuff like that. And she wants Jesse's half of the money or whatever, and this and that. And Walt gives them the money, but of course, after that, she overdoses. So Walt goes in there, second time breaking into the house, right? And he actually, instead of trying to help her, he watches Jesse's girlfriend die, which I thought was just savage. I mean, wow, I was just like this, like I was watching it. I should film reactions for this show, but honestly, I'm just watching it, and I'm just seeing her die like that, and Walt's just sitting there watching this, and I'm like, what the hell, And then, of course, we have the finale. So, Jesse, of course, they take the body away and this and that, whatever. And we also have Jesse, who he goes to rehab, of course, this and that, to get clean and stuff like that after the death of his girlfriend, just to kind of take his mind off of it. And basically, you have Walt that kind of goes to see him and this and that, or whatever. So cool stuff there. But Walt has a surgery, and I love this. So she's like, dude, bring your phone. And Walt's like, which one? It's like, oh crap. So, of course, she knows something's up right away. And then a few weeks after the surgery, and then he grows like a goatee, just so you can tell they pass time. Speaking of that pink shirt, though, I don't know. But that pink shirt that Walt was wearing was just looked weird. I don't know. But I figured I'd throw that in there. But anyway, she basically says, we're leaving, and, you have such an amount of time to get out. I know you're hiding something and this and that. You didn't even go see your mom, and just everything comes out, and he's trying to stop her from leaving. And he says, if I tell you, will you stay? And she says, honestly, I'm too afraid to know. So, yeah. So, and she leaves. So, a breakup, basically. I tend to think they're probably going to get back together. I don't know if they'll really go that route for the rest of the show of just not having to meet together. I feel like, they've been married so long, I feel like they will. But I feel like Walt will tell her eventually. We'll just have to see. But of course, the last moment we see is Jesse's girlfriend's father, it looks like he probably crashed a plane, at the very end. And Walt sees this as he's sitting in front of the pool, and he kind of looks up, and you see the plane coming down, and it's like, no. And then that's where it ends. So, there you guys go. That's season 2 of Breaking Bad for you, and I loved it. I thought it was really good. Like I said, the first half was a little bit weaker episodes around that time, but once we got to the second half of the season, we saw Saul, we saw Gus's character, we saw Walt and Jesse's girlfriend and what happened with her, and the breakup at the end, well, kind of, and then of course the plane crash and the cliffhanger. Love all that stuff. So definitely this season for me is a low good. I think it's a very, very good second season. I do think it is better than season 1 because of just there's more episodes and the storyline is a little bit better. But I actually was expecting to see season 2 be way better than season 1. I actually don't. I think season 2 is a little bit better than season 1, but it's not way better than season 1, So hopefully season 3 will be like a wow season for me. So far for Breaking Bad, I will be reviewing season 3, season 4, and season 5. So far for Breaking Bad, I think it's like about a 7 out of 10 series for me right now. So let's see how these last 3 seasons of Breaking Bad go. I will be reviewing them. It just took me a little while to finish this, of course. And season 3 review, season 4 review, and season 5 review coming up very, very soon. Very, very soon, actually. And, that's pretty much it for my Breaking Bad season 2 recap / review. So if you're new here, click the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my Breaking Bad videos. And, of course, if you guys want me to do some more Breaking Bad reviews, if you want me to continue on with the seasons, continue to review like even Better Call Saul and maybe El Camino, if you guys want to see more from Breaking Bad on this channel, click the subscribe button and of course click the like button so I can see how many people want me to do, continue to review Breaking Bad. So anyway guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you guys really soon for another. Peace out guys.